So at this junction, I want to invite my panelists. Here we have Professor Abdullahi Abubakar, the Dean Faculty of Environmental Design. Sir, if you are here, please come up to the stage. Okay, next on my list is Engineer Dr. Bilkisu Hassan Sada. Ma, please come up to the stage. And next we have Builder Dr. Margaret Shawaka. Ma, please, you're welcome to this session. Next on my list is, please, a round of applause for her. Next, I want to welcome QS Dr. Barrister Bukola Aluko-Olokun. I usually ask her which of the titles she likes best. She's a quantity surveyor as well as a barrister. All right. I think we have two of our panelists here. Please, Mark, you can join us. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Engineer Bilkisu Sada, HOD Civil Engineering, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. So, before we start, I would like to introduce myself as the moderator for this session. I am Fatima Muhammad Bello, a quantity surveyor by profession and academic with Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. The panelists consist of 4 people waiting for our leaders. We continue, he will join us. So these are industry experts. These are people that have achieved quite a lot in their various fields. So we'll be discussing on the outcome from this research project, which has the aim of improving our understanding of innovative strategies committed to strengthening employment pathways of women graduates into the construction industry. The intention is to draw on the strengths and successes of the UK to inform clear strategies and guidelines to increase the numbers of women graduates joining the partner countries, which is Nigeria, the construction workforce. So the discussion for this session will focus on, first, we have to say two aspects to it: the obstacles that women graduates face into the construction industry. And then the second aspect will be how will we give them strategies to strengthen the employment pathways of women graduates in construction. So my first question will go to Engineer Bilkisu and also QS Bukola Aluko-Olokun. I want you to tell us how does the work-family life conflict affect women's graduates' decision to enter the construction industry?
The work-family conflict can be The work family life conflicts can significantly affect impact women graduates. That means decisions to enter the construction industry, creating concerns about balancing career aspirations with family responsibilities. Addressing these issue requires offering flexible work arrangements, promoting supportive workplace cultures, and providing resources for child care and family support. That's in a nutshell.
Good afternoon, everyone. In my own perspective, I think the work-life family conflict will affect female graduates in terms of raising their kids. I know that most times in the industry, when they want to get employed, the employer will always request for somebody who's not married, because they know by the time they come with their baggages, they want to take leaves, you want to go to the hospital, you're sick and all that. So definitely they have to find a way to balance this. How do you concentrate on your career and take care of your kids? Because using myself as an example, I had that from the onset of my career. And what I had to do was to use daycares, and then my husband was there to support. And throughout the period I was raising my kids, I was not taking them to school. So I was not picking them from school. So I wasn't doing any school runs. It was completely out of my schedule because the task required of me in the industry was quite huge. And then when you look at issue of family commitment, it's always difficult. They cannot be committed to their families at that period of time. If you want to make something out of your career, you cannot be committed because there's a way you just have to balance the two. So that you get a very good support system. Your husband should be there, the other maybe use nannies to do take care, maids to do so many other jobs that you're expected to do because really by the time you get home from work, you are tired. You are completely exhausted. And then somebody will now tell you to enter the kitchen and start cooking. I mean, it's not done. It's serious. So definitely by the time they look at this, they'll be like, can we cope? And then if you don't have a good husband, it will be putting pressure from the other side. So this is a very critical area that we actually need to look into within the industry. Another thing is that within the industry there is actually no closing time. Let's put it that way. It is true that you sign a contract that says you should resume, come to work 8 to 5, but it doesn't really work in practice. Because as quality surveyors, when we are working, we are always trying to meet up with our targets. The clients are always putting down our necks. I know that most of the time the architects will be given enough time to design. The structural engineers will also be given time. But when it comes to different surveys, they tell you that maybe 1 week. 1 week because the clients are interested in knowing the figure. So they need to understand the fact that the quality surveyor also need time to work. So looking at that, it means you must work way beyond your closing period. I've worked, I've still up in the office up to 11.
Does it really affect ladies' work in a place leading to discrimination, you know, when you want to try and balance between your family and the work? Does it lead to discrimination in the workplace? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Work life and family life conflicts certainly can lead to discriminations at the workplace. I remember using myself when I was still unemployed as a graduate in search of a job. I approached some of these popular big construction firms, and what I was told was that they have a work policy not to employ women. And that was discrimination in terms of recruitment. It was discrimination. Then, as a young graduate, I didn't even know that I could try out anywhere. I didn't know what to do. So it leads to discrimination. And I've had other witness other instances. A colleague, later when I was employed, a colleague in one of the construction firms that I was working on their project, she took her maternity leave, and she was only given 2 weeks as maternity leave. So you will see that 2 weeks is not sufficient at all compared to what we have in the public service. So with 2 weeks maternity leave, perhaps some reasons arose that she could not resume immediately after 2 weeks. She resumed immediately after 3 weeks. That means she added 1 week to her official maternity leave. The day she resumed work, she was given her sack letter. Is that not discrimination? It's discrimination. So certainly work, life, family, it leads to a lot of discrimination in the workplace. Like our keynote speaker has said, some firms will not even want to employ women because of several excuses. And then if your performance is not acceptable, certainly that one, they have no fault if you are laid off on your job. But when it's because of some family obligations, then I think it is unfair. And with workshops like this, we look at strategies on how to solve these problems. I look at myself, whether I've had any work-life family conflicts, then I've not had work-life family conflicts that relate to my work schedules or something like that. But the work itself was a conflict. Just that I'm employed itself is a conflict. You know, I started work as a builder. I was still a single lady. Some of the projects I worked on were in remote areas. I had to leave home as early as 7:30. By 8, using the project vehicles, we had gone to site. Sometimes before I'm back home, it is 6 p.m. because then it was traveling from like Jos to Panching on daily basis, Jos to Mango and so on. So it was really stressful. But being that I was single, I was staying with an elder brother, there was no challenge. I didn't have a problem. I got married. I was working in a different state with my husband. So every weekend, I had to travel for weekend after we married. That was very stressful for me. Every Friday, I come for weekends, go back on Sunday. And when I started having the children, I kept doing that. That made me miss out on several professional things that were held during the weekends. And when the children increased, the pressure increased, my husband sympathized and he had to take over the traveling and he started coming for weekends. You know, along the line, it also became very stressful for him. So the solution was he moved the children to where he's staying and I started coming again. So it was actually very stressful. That act itself redefined my career progression because I was working in the industry and having put in about 21 years work experience where I was working, I had to relocate, find a job where it is, and I moved. And you can imagine at the mid stages of your career, you are expecting to rise to the top. You suddenly collapse and start afresh at another place. So I think that had a significant impact on my career progression because I had to leave the industry, came to lecturing, and start from the very grassroots because lecturing, they may not really consider your industry experience very well. So because of personal determination, I said I will work very hard. I will make sure before I retire, I reach the peak of at least my career as a lecturer. And God helped me, I was able to do that. And then looking at, I was fully pursuing my PhD, no release from job and so on. I had to miss a lot of family events so that I could succeed. Weekends, naming ceremonies, all these things, it's not that I'm not interested, but because of the pressure of work, I could not cope to attending all these occasions. So I think this had effect on my career progression. I think that's all I can say. Thank you very much, Ma. Our day is here now. Lisa, welcome to the discussion panel. You can have your seat. And my next question will be directed to you. So as you are sitting, sir, this question goes to you. So as an architect and seasoned academic, you've been working with women, sir. So what are the challenges you have faced working with professional women within the industry and the academia? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Interestingly, let me start once again thanking all of you for the privilege to be here because it's a very important event. Because when I must tell you before I answer the question, when my BIB prof met me, trying to say that just trying to see how I can fit into the schedule and whatever that, you know how to take so much time in trying to bring me to be here. I have to tell you that I'm glad to be here to attend your event, and that I'm going to tell you that this is the fact that the title of what you are having as women there have to be there. and I said in my own small way, this was some of the few ways I'm going to honor. I will continue to honor my own mother because she hasn't been towards the classroom, but by grace, I'm standing here because of her. And so to that extent. So now back to the question. Interestingly, you see, if you try as much as possible to put on off biases, prejudices, sentiments, and look, you're dealing with a human being. And then also understand the circumstance around it, because as a human being also, there are certain rules and responsibilities we have, and the circumstance determine what you're going to get after somebody as his or her best. I must make a confession. Whenever I have any privilege to work, interestingly, I don't know, the names of those, most of them that usually comes on board happens to be women. And they have never failed me. And for that reason, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have bias, prejudice. And so when you ask me, what are the challenges? I will tell you that the challenge, if you may call it a challenge, just learn to work with them. If you try understand them, then you can get the best out of them. Now, in the industry, we don't have problem, of course, that you have very few of them that happen to participate actively in professional practice, be it in now I say practice being as in consultancy firms. But where you have the few of them that I know, you realize that because of the discipline that we said in the morning, that because usually there is this characteristic of casting their mind in a particular direction. Once they have it, they're working on a particular thing, and they tend to move towards it. Because I had an experience, for instance, now, multi-systems in Kano. I know you do have some ladies working for them, and they're doing very well. Also, I think I forgot the name. Probably there are some of the firms in Kano that are doing very well. And the same thing when you go to Abuja, and that's why you can have, like in architecture, you will have in Abuja as a vice chairman chapter. And currently, I'm proud to tell you, the president of Nigerian Institute of Architects is a lady. So, and to tell you, she has rose at one time Secretary General, Treasurer, third Vice President, second Vice President, first Vice President. And the second Vice President also, Woku, she's also another female coming on board to be the president in the next couple of years, like God's please. So that's to tell you, as far as architecture is concerned, it seems that they were given the opportunities and they have been working excellently well. And so, which means within the sphere of architecture, they measure up and they are given that opportunity. That's for co-practice. What about now the academia? Of course, we have the teaching, research, teaching, learning, research, and community service. In architecture, and it so happens that whenever I have the privilege of having to have team teaching, currently I'm taking about 4 or 5 courses, and those ones that I'm having team teaching directly, I happen to be given the privilege of selecting, and in each of these, I have 2 ladies that I'm teaching with them. So it means that I as far as I'm concerned, and interestingly, I find them working very hard. Interestingly, I demand a lot when I'm working with anybody. But to God be the glory, you realize that I will keep raising the bar and they keep measuring to the bar. And at times, of course, I know the home front. I have to ensure that I didn't push them in such a way because, like I said to somebody this morning, I said, the men, if they have to put in 50% in their job, the ladies have to put 75%. Why? Because they have to go back home and take care of everybody. The husband, the children, his relations, friends, well-wishers. Then come to the office and do exactly a similar work with same male folks. Then you trust that she's sitting so much in her head, on her head. So, as for me, I will tell you, there are challenges. And that is why we're encouraging, what do you call it, the ladies into the construction industry. Architecture, to some extent, we're making a headway. And even in practice now, when you go into the license stuff, you find that the ladies are there also working very hard. And our admission policy, I keep on saying architecture because I know architecture very well. Admission policy that we also are doing very well. And when it comes to also selection process, somebody said it in the morning. The overall best student with the highest CGPA in the faculty happens to come from architecture and happens to be a lady. We have so rest in peace. Because on our way to the convocation, had an accident. One of those things. So, as far as architecture, and even when it comes to privileges and chances for scholars, we have this. I'm saying this because it's very important to some of us to take aware of it. You have to make an effort if you want it to happen. We have this the European Union mobility program, Erasmus. And when we were asked to bring 2 of our best students to go to Spain and spend a semester on a scholarship, 100% paid by European Union. The thing came, then I was the head of the department. And when it came, they said 2 best students. I said, examination officer, he says, go and, if you go and just pick the best 2 students, it will be skilled. We have ladies, we have males and female. What I want you to do, go and segregate male, who is the best. The ladies, who is the best, who happens to be the best there. And then that's how we're able to have 2 of our students, 1 male, 1 female. So we contacted their parents and they agreed, and to God be the glory. And interestingly, the lady, when they went to Spain, happened to be on top. All of the things after that's both male and female. So to God be the glory. So while I'm saying this, challenges could be there. There are issues here and there, but the challenge we have mainly is that of prejudices, stereotyping, biases, and what have you. That's my own opinion about that. So to God be the glory. In conclusion, what I'm saying, all of us here, especially the gentlemen, when you have the privilege, please try to be manage those biases and sentiments so that we can be able to harness the potential from the ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask one last question on obstacles, and I will direct that to QS Bukola. What are some of the common misconceptions or lack of knowledge that women graduates may have about the construction industry and its prospects?
Thank you for that question. I know that most graduates of front, I mean not just front domain, generally in the industry, they have this notion that the moment they enter into the industry, they want to make money. That's a very wrong notion. The first thing they are supposed to look at is how to even get into the industry, first of all. Some of them think that it's easy. I know somebody at the top or whatever. They tend to forget the fact that they're actually competing with the men. There are no jobs out there. So as a woman going into the industry, it means you have to be well prepared. I mean, being a graduate is not just enough. You must be able to add to your skills. You must be able to have a niche for yourself to say, okay, I'm going into the industry. This is what I have as an added advantage to what the women have. Because it's easy for the men to put 2, 3, 5 together, go for an interview. The first person they will pick is the man. Maybe by the time they pick the 3rd person, they will like to consider the 4th person, that's the female. But if you are coming with an added advantage, you have additional certificate or you have additional skill, it will perhaps raise your bar. You'll be much more qualified and then they will try to consider you. And another thing, like I said, is the issue of money. Most people think that it's easy. You need to, they have to disabuse their minds. They have to learn the rules. They must pay their dues. They must learn to do the work. They must learn to be appreciated. Men will not easily accept us, that is the fact. But if we prove ourselves, because what they think, the first thing they will always say is that, what do they do? What are they bringing to the table? You know, but you must tell them that I know this thing, I can deliver, and I have to do it by all means possible. So if a man is working 4 hours, you have to put in like 6 hours to prove to them that you, I can also be responsible for the task given to me. I can do this work because the industry will not just change. The industry is what it is. The women are what we have. If we want to say that we should be giving less onerous tasks, I mean, it means we are not ready to face the challenges ahead of us. So we must come to, we must just acclimatize to what is obtainable. Yes, it's hectic, it's a tough, then you have to prove yourself that you are tougher. Because if you are very big and thinking, I can't travel, why should you expect me to travel? I'm a woman, don't you know that I'm married? Who cares? The person does not want to know whether you are married or not. What they are interested in, can you deliver? Can you do the work? So you really need to make your mark, you need to work very hard, and then put it at the back of your mind that there's actually no freedom. Really, there's no freedom. You must work hard, you must earn that respect. And the moment you do so, the sky is the limit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this point, I will go on to discuss the questions for the strategies that will strengthen the employment pathways to women graduates in construction. And I would like to start with Engineer Dr. Bilkisu Sada. And as an expert in the industry, what advice can you give the female graduates that will encourage them to take careers in construction?
The advice I will give actually is mainly perseverance, determination too. You have to be determined. When you choose a career in construction, you have to know that you're going to face challenges because it's majorly a build-related area. But once you are determined, you work hard, you persevere, I think you'll be able to overcome those difficulties. Also, maybe that is women that are already established in the industry can maybe offer guidance, support, networking. Those kind of issues can also encourage female graduates to enter into the construction industry. And I'll also say that sometimes you also face some challenges which for you to be able to overcome it, you also have to just like I said earlier, be determined to achieve, make something. I don't know if I'm not very sure. To achieve, to make something out of your life, that you also have to have interest in that field to do. These are some of the things I'll say.
Thank you very much, ma'am. My next question will go to Dr. Margaret. As someone that has the experience of both working in the industry as a consultant and also you being in the academics now, it has been established that women face a poor career fulfillment in the construction sector, and that because there is competition posed by other attractive industry. You see a lot of quantity surveillance, for instance, working in the bank and the industries. How can the construction industry enhance its appeal and opportunities for women professionals? Thank you.
Thank you. The industry itself, first of all, has to collaborate with the academia. There has to be a collaboration in order to enhance the appeal of the construction industry for women. How do they collaborate? First of all, they have to collaborate on policy issues, because this issue we are talking, several of them can be addressed through policy matters. And I look at the promotion of inclusiveness as a matter of policy in recruitment. There should be that no any form of discrimination in recruitment. And a lot of times, the discrimination does not just stop on recruitment, on promotion itself, because there's this discrimination on the competence of women. Just like my QSR said, they will ask you, what do you have to offer on the table? You know, so whether it is stereotype or whatever, they just feel that the woman does not have much to offer. So they are discriminated on issues of promotion, you know. So there has to be policies that will help in breaking these gender stereotype issues between the industry and the academia. And this can be achieved first, even from our school curricula. We look at some of the language used in our materials, study materials. They are inclined to the masculine language. We need to make them neutral. So the industry and the academia can collaborate on that to achieve a neutral language on the materials they use in school. Even the classroom environment needs to be neutral and so on. So if you look at it, even on the work on the site, you look at some of the personal protective clothing that are used on the site. They are designed for the masculine gender, you know. So we have to redefine all those things so that the PPP can fit the women. Also, they will look attractive in it, and it will not just be as if they are just trying to force themselves into a masculine profession. So both the industry and the academia can help to improve on that. And I was also trying to find out the pay packages for professionals in the industry. I discovered, compared to other industries, it is low. Some people may feel, okay, you enter the construction industry for a high pay. It is not true. The construction is relatively low. It's not high. It depends on the strength of the firm that employs you. Maybe if you're working with a multinational, yes, they may pay you very well. But just you're working with a small firm and all this one, you don't have so much. No, the money is not high. So I think the industry on that aspect have to look at how they can increase their pay package to make it competitive compared to other industries. It should make it more competitive. And then encouragement of women in leadership in the construction industry. I think that one will be attractive. Yes, we have said they are discriminated in terms of promotion, but let's look at the very top positions. I am not sure, I may be ignorant, but I have not seen Nigeria produce a minister of works and housing as a woman. Despite that, we have so many women that are qualified in the industry and academia. Every time they feel it is a male. Let them try the woman in that position. I think maybe because we have insufficient political representation in leadership. That's why they never even contemplate considering a woman. But I think we have enough women to do that. And then there should be, like my sister has said, mentorship, partnership for mentorship, working opportunities, sideways, areas of placement and so on for women within the industry. All those things we encourage the women to work in the construction industry. Thank you very much, Mark. So thank you very much, Mark. And I would like to, my next question goes to the Dean Faculty of Environmental Design. As a management staff within the university, what efforts so far have you made in encouraging diversity within the university system and maybe at the industry? Considering that one of the sustainable development goals is ensuring female participation. So what are those things have you done in regards to encouraging diversity as a dean of faculty, as also a player in the industry? Thank you.
Good afternoon, once again. Let me start by saying that God be the glory that when this kind of question is coming and just up here to talk about it. Let me tell you that when the idea of deanship happens to be on board, that some elders wanted me to be dean of the faculty and whatever, and said, okay, we need to have a team. And part of that is that the journal of the faculty, we need to have somebody that's going to be very strong, committed to deliver. So the person in my mind that, as at this point in time, can do this job efficiently is Professor Aluko. So I approached her. I approached her and said, please, I want you to be in for this, that. Say, no, don't worry. We're going to be there to also work together and to God be the glory. She's now there. She's performing well. The party man is there supporting her as secretary of the journal. They've been consistent. They've been committed. That's number one. Number two, currently I'm the chairman of the Board of Architectural Education of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. And when that opportunity came on board, made some nominations across the 6 geopolitical zones and make sure in each zone, out of say 6, 7, the minimum I have 2 ladies in each zone represented from each zone at least. And to go into glory also, the secretary, I make sure that the secretary must be a lady. And God answered that prayer. We have now a secretary that happens to be also a lady. So back to the university, within the management of the faculty. Interesting. My Iron Lady prof is here, Professor Achitect. She's one of those that we keep working closely, and one of the very important committee of the faculty called advisory committee. We have 3 or 4, and then she's there. Then also the level of the same faculty, we have Professor Mrs, another Iron Lady, quality assurance. Then you also agree that, you see, I keep on mentioning this, you must have the mindset. I think that is the most important thing. And this is happening, it's not by accident, it's because I have a mindset that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to assess you based on what I know about you that you can deliver. And so that becomes very easy. And wherever I happen to find myself, I try to do that. And wherever we have a skewed number, then I try to say, okay, we must consider them, because whatever we are going to do, in fact, my PhD students, especially in professional practice, I tell some of them to say that when you go to, if you happen to be a consultant, a practitioner, a core consultant, if you're going to be smart, then you can't help it but have a lady in your team. Why? Because especially when you are involved in residential designs, the homes physically is for the mothers to manage. And if you are smart enough, if you are engaging your client who happen to be the ceremonial head of household, then you have to sell out to him. And look, in my team, we have a lady that can come and meet Her Majesty, so that she will be able to interact with her, know well about the family, because this is design. And then when you do that, then you. So as far as I'm concerned, I think at every opportunity I have, be it at the work level, be it in the classroom, I try to advocate and try to raise the awareness level that the ladies are not threat to us. Because some of us have a feeling that either you're giving her the opportunity to work and to write a level, giving her the opportunity, she happens to be earning so much higher than you, giving her the opportunity that she's going to disrespect you. I think if you disrespect yourself, that's when she disrespects you. Even this afternoon, I shared with a colleague, I said, if the ladies, if Her Majesty understand that you've given her all her entitlement, she will end up becoming a camel with just a little thread in your hand. Because whatever happens, she knows that you are there, trust in you, you protect her interest, and she'll be there also to protect. And whatever she has is for the family. It is you that will go and eat in a good restaurant and then don't even remember home. But wherever she sees anything, even if it's news, she will bring home. So, interestingly, personally, I tell you that at all levels, I try to, wherever I happen to have a privilege or opportunity, to raise the awareness level. And I have, interestingly, as a person, I'm now saying my own experience, I have never had any of to underrate a lady or a woman just because of her gender. No, I don't do that.
Thank you very much. Okay. I would like to round up this session with this one question directed to the Watson chairperson and president of QS, Dr. Barrister Bukola. Please, ma'am, what effort has Watson made on awareness to educate females and female graduates of career options and opportunities available in construction industry?
Thank you very much for that question. As an association, we have taken several steps. One of them is the fact that most of the time we do proximity visits to schools, tertiary institutions, secondary schools, trying to enlighten them about the counseling profession itself. We most of the time dwell on the positive aspects of the industry. We try to downplay the negative aspect because when you have a negative side, you also have the positive side. If there were no positive side, some of us would not have been here today. So we don't need to keep overflowing negativity within the industry. We can still make our own mark as it is. So we let them know that there are so many job opportunities. They can decide to work either within the construction industry or within the consultancy. They can work with government agencies. They can decide to be lecturers to impact knowledge on students. So Watson has taken a lot of giant strides. We also try to train them. We train them to have additional skills upon what they have, they have obtained from the universities. We have established what we call industry partnerships. We try to organize internship programs when they have issues in getting a place for their IT, for their salaries, or for even trying to learn how the industry operates. We try to fix them up. We liaise with construction firms, liaise with some consultancy firms also. And we tell them to take the women in and they normally oblige us. And then we try to create a portal also for job vacancies, specifically for them. If they contact us, we have a means of getting these vacancies and then we send to them. They apply and they are being recruited. So day in, day out, we going out there, picking our members. We have a lot of them out there, after graduating, you find them into, some of them will tell you they are now cosmetologists, they are into fashion designing and all that. So they are all over, they can fly everywhere. And we've been making a lot of efforts, bringing them to the fold, getting their contacts, fixing them all here and there, so they can just have that industry experience. Because that's the first step towards building that passion for the industry. So we've been doing a lot, and we also have what we call the Watson Help Desk. The Help Desk tries to assist some of these young ones in addressing their personal issues. Some of them are sexually harassed, some of them cannot speak out. But when they reach out to us, we'll be able to take some of these issues up quietly and try to resolve them. So Watson is actually doing a lot, and we can see the results. Of recent, we are seeing a lot of them coming back into the industry, in as much as we have a place to pick them up. The first thing we tell them is that you've been out of practice for years, 5, 10 years, but try and come and go through this internship program. And then when we now have vacancies, we push you to it. And that's what we have been doing. We have seen a lot of them responding to this kind of arrangement. And we hope that in future, we will still have a lot of collaborations with the universities, so that as they are coming out of the university, we are fixing them up. We don't just want them to get scattered everywhere. So we tend to have a collaboration with some of the universities so that we want to have a seamless flow. We don't want any one of them to be just out into the crowd. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So at this point, I would like to close up this discussion. Thank you, our panelists, for this robust discussion on female participation in construction industry. And we would like to have questions and answers from the audience. I think I have 2. If you have a question, please, you can indicate by raising your hand. I'll write it down and let's have it here for us to read. So the first question here is, it states that, are there enabling laws or legislations that guard against the discrimination of women in the construction industry? Here's Bukola, I will start with you.
There's actually no specific law that guards against discrimination, but as normal human being, the constitution guards our practices. We are not supposed to be unfairly treated. The constitution is not gender biased. So whatever is applicable to the men is applicable to the women. We can decide to interpret it to suit us. It depends on our interpretation. So we have a constitution for fair treatment, discrimination in workplaces, but it's not specifically targeted at the women, but it's for both sexes. So we can actually make use of this, and unless they can they take it work for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that answer. And the second question goes to the Dean of Faculty. In what way can technology reduce the family work tension for women in the industry?
Now we're looking at technology is a double-edged sword, technically. But now we're looking at it in what ways and it's one is that you see when we talk about the construction, we have the issue of the pre-design, the design, the construction itself, and then the post-construction. And in all these aspects, we have players in them. So take for instance the aspect of pre-design. You have a situation whereby you can even work from home. You have a lot of things that you can be able to engage other team members and then be able to have a partner. They do some certain aspect of the work and then you do some certain aspect of the work and you can do it from home. So in that way, you can use technology to do that, especially now that we have the 4Ds, 5Ds, 6Ds, 7Ds, and whatever, all the Ds. That is number one. Number two, the technology we're talking about, interestingly, we can customize it. It means that we must not wait for it, that is the designers of the technology to provide for us. We can, like in this part of the world, there are some aspects of work that we can be able to key in and design it in such a way it fits women, especially at the point of maternity, during the course of maternity leave. That now this is what you can do from home, for fun, and then she can be able to do that, and in as much as she can deliver that, she must not come to the office. And then even during that is the work balance we're talking about, because technology, that is the same thing we're dealing with technology. You can decide to say that within, even before the maternity leave, within this period, you can reduce the number of hours to this, and then you can do this from home. It's doable. But you see, my own thinking is that technology could be there. In as much as we don't change our mindset, then we will not reap the best out of the technology. So in other words, the two has to go together. Our technology on one side and the mindset on the other. First and foremost, we have to believe and we have to agree that no matter whatever you have on this planet, no matter the development, growth and development, it wouldn't have been possible by this design as God has made it without procreation. So it should be an added advantage to that person that is God has used that is leading us to that, rather than look at it like a liability, because without that we couldn't have even had the opportunity to talk about it. So that mindset has changed. Look at that and then design the work in such a way it suits that as well as best at it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question I have will go to Engineer Bilkisu Sada, and it's about mentorship. The writer of the question is asking that they are facing challenges and difficulty in assessing mentorship and networking. So from your experience, what can you say about this difficulty? And were you mentored? And are you also mentoring women just to mitigate the challenges to the younger ones?
First, I'll answer have I been mentored? Of course, it think most of us here have gone through some form of mentorship. And I'll probably say that my husband is my number one mentor. I'm actually in the same discipline with him. As for how to, I mean, networking that, is it networking?
Networking, yes, mentoring and
networking. Mentoring and networking. Okay, one thing is for us to be able to know those that the women that are in the construction industry. First of all, we have to showcase successes of those that have achieved through awards and qualifications. So through those, the younger ones will be able to know those women. That means the ones that have already reached their peak. So through provision of platforms, networking, groups, social media, those are some of the ways that we can reach out to each other. That means mentorship can go on, and also through all these women, not organizations, women branches of yes, professional bodies. Like in engineering, we have the APWEN, mainly for women. We do mentorship there. We also have institutions like in civil engineering, which is my field. We have institution of civil engineers, which there is also the women branch. So all these are ways that we reach out to fresh graduates. So those are some of the ways we use in mentoring. And also, just like I said, networking, social platforms, sharing experiences, generation of expertise with younger ones. All these are ways that mentorship can be established.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I would want to also add to that mentorship, mentoring is a two-way thing. So if as a mentee or as a young person, you have identified somebody that you feel is going to help you in your career, you can approach that person. You can approach directly, you can approach through other people too. There is no harm in trying to approach people that can help uplift your career, be around them, and you will learn a lot. So I have two questions that are similar, so I will just take them. One, they are talking about societal stereotyping in the construction. They are talking about that this stereotyping is going to be ever present in our society, taking the cultural and religious undertones. So, as professionals, what advice can you give on how do we reduce or eliminate entirely this idea of stereotype, and particularly that some clients will insist on men professionals rather than the women? You know, they approach your organization and they insist that they want to work with the men. They don't want women for their work. So what advice will you give to reduce this kind of challenge? This goes to Margaret Shawaka. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you have rightly pointed out. Breaking stereotype is not something that will happen automatically at once. It is a gradual process. And I think several forums can be used to try to orientate, educate, and change the the mentality or to break the stereotypes in our society. Yes, I know that culture and religion are very strong influences. But like this very forum that we have is an avenue. We are already talking about stereotypes and the discrimination and all the effects it will have on women not joining the construction industry. So there are, from our different professional bodies, if each profession in the industry takes it up, follows it through seminars, conferences, at least that is a starting level. We can also do it at community level, dialoguing with the communities. Let the community understand the benefits of gender equality. If they can understand and the impact of discrimination on the society, then I think even if we will not achieve automatically, we will achieve a degree of achievement. So right from schools too, we can also recruit our students from the secondary schools, even from primary school level. Because if you look at the issue of stereotypes, sometimes it even starts from childhood. The parents have that stereotype. They will say you are a girl, that you will not be trained because you are a girl. Right from primary school level. So it's not only when you graduate, it starts from the home, right from primary school level, right from when they even give birth to the baby. They will buy a baby doll for the baby girl, buy a motor car for the baby boy. Is that not stereotype? It's stereotype. That means you are already introducing the male child to some kind of causes, yes. And you're introducing the lady to just take care of the family or home-related causes. So, let's also just learn so that these parents should begin to open up the minds of their children. Yes, even within the community, if you see people learning trades, handwork, you see that the females are introduced to tailoring and all those other things. The men go to carpentry. Yes, carpentry. Because I'm involved in skills assessment, and there are some female artisans that learn handwork like plumbing, carpentry, and all this one. One of the ladies said, "Oh, mommy, the way they are abusing me at home is too much." I said, "Why?" She said, in them like a choir, aiking giving, giving passion, cashing a choir. You know, that means if at all she must learn a trade in the construction industry, must it be something, a dirty work like plumbing, that she will be collecting people to the stool and so on. You know, so she felt very bad. No, I had to encourage her. It's a gradual process. And more women are coming into the construction industries at various levels. And we have to just keep on, right from the parents, the church, the mosques, the society, the schools, the professional bodies, the industries. We have to try and organize. And that is why I like what these researchers are doing today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. And this closes up this aspect of the workshop. Thank you, everyone on the panel. We had a fruitful discussion. We have learned a lot. And one of the key takeaways for this is that for the women, determination and resilience is the key aspect to your career advancement. And for the men, support the women around you. Let's kill the the stereotyping. Let's encourage our women and let's have a diversified workforce. Thank you very much for listening.